on the world news tonight. Inec lists 200 electoral offenders for prosecution, EFCC, ICPC probe. Inec chair under pressure to declare Fintiri winner of Adamawa Guber reroll election. Peter Obi, don't allow yourselves to be used as an instrument or a nazi. Voters shun supplementary poll in Port Harcourt. And on sport, Osimhen ready to return against LS Verona, Spalletti. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, the handle is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all, and access to our broadcast. I am Morire Rabila Lawa. The news in detail. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is set to prosecute over 200 persons arrested for various electoral offenses during the just concluded general elections. Already, the Nigeria Police Force has transferred over 50 case files of electoral offenses to the electoral umpire. Giving update on the number of case files INEC offices across the country had received from the police and how many electoral offenders had been handed over to it, the Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman, Rotimi Oyekomi, informed in an exclusive interview on Friday the Commission has received over 50 case files from the police authorities. There are over 200 accused persons set for prosecution. The Commission has directed its litigation and prosecution department to study the files and advise it on the prosecution. The department has since commenced action, and as soon as it finishes, it will revert to the Commission accordingly. On March 13, 2023, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, directed commissioners of police in charge of state commands to ensure investigation in all cases of violation of the Electoral Act during the February 25, 2023 Presidential and National Assembly polls. The IG directed them to swiftly conclude investigation and forward the case files to INEC for prosecution. On March 14, the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, said the commission was setting up a legal team to deal with cases of electoral offenders during the February 25th Presidential and National Assembly polls. On March 28, Baba directed that all electoral offenses case files should be submitted to the Commissioner of Police in charge of the legal unit. This, according to him, is to enable central collation and coordinated processing to the legal unit of INEC, preparatory to the commencement of the prosecution process. And to the next story. As the reroll of the Adamawa State governorship election commences, a civil society organization, Center for Civil Rights and Social Justice, CCRSJ, on Saturday alleged the incumbent governor and other top parties officials are mounting pressure on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, to compromise on the outcome of the election. The CSO, in a text statement signed by Executive Director Peter Obi, made available to information, urged the INEC chair to resist any temptation of compromising on the outcome of the election so as to redeem his image. According to the group, the incumbent governor is mounting pressure on INEC to cancel the list of ad hoc staff trained by the commission to be replaced by his cronies to do his bidding. Credible information available to all suggests that Governor Fintiri is mounting pressure on INEC chair, who sit in Abuja, to cancel nominations of ad hoc staff done by REC. We know that it is the duty of REC to appoint and train such ad hoc staff, and he has done that. But pressure is being mounted on the INEC chair to interfere. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu should realize that he cannot be chair and resident electoral commissioner for a state at the same time and not yield to this plot, the statement warned. It further alleged that Governor Fintiri had bought over the returning officer in the state, the Vice Chancellor of Modibo University, Yola, who is desirous of taking over as governor from Fintiri if the plot succeeds after his second tenure. Going on to the next story. The leadership of the Apex Igbo Socio-Cultural Organization, Ohaneze Indigbo, has condemned an alleged plot to implicate the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi in criminal acts in the United Kingdom. Nigeria News report that this is coming after the detention of the former Anambra State governor by UK immigration officials over crimes committed by an imposter. Speaking about Peter Obi's embarrassing detention last week Friday, the acting president of Ahaneze Ndigbo, Damian Okeke Ogene, said it was a ploy to silence Peter Obi. Ogene told Saturday Telegraph that the incident is a ploy to scuttle the moves by Obi and his running mate, Deputy Ahmed Baba, to recover their mandate stolen from them at the February 25th general election. We want to make it public that we know their antics and the Nigerian people know exactly what they are planning, but they will not succeed. Also speaking, a former governor of Adamawa State, Dr. Chukwuemeka Ezefe, urged UK authorities not to allow themselves to be used as instrument to threaten the old relationship between their country and Nigeria. From that story, we go to River State. Saturday's House of Assembly representative supplementary election in Port Harcourt Federal Constituency in River State has been characterized by a low turnout of voters. In Units 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6 of Ward 5, Port Harcourt Township, elections commenced at 8:30 a.m., but as of 11:26 a.m., only a few voters had come out to cast their vote. Polling Unit 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37, 88 of the same ward also experienced similar situations as voters came out in trickles to vote. However, the election environment was peaceful and orderly with the presence of the police and personnel of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps at the polling stations. In Unit 44, Ward 5, opposite the Nigeria Union of Journalists NUJ office complex, the presiding officers, James R. E. Bibia, said no persons had voted in the unit at 10:40 a.m. The presiding officer of Unit 1, Jesse Kyo, said voting commenced in the unit by 8:30 a.m., but only a few people had voted. Some of the voters attributed the voter apathy to doubt over the transparent conduct of the election. The PDP agent in Unit 3, Ward 5, Mitra Kalio, blamed the low turnout partly on the outcome of the February 25th and March 18th elections. Most people in the state are not even aware that the election is being held today, he added. Some opposition parties in the state, including the All Progressive Congress, APC, boycotted the supplementary elections over the alleged lack of transparency by Inec at the gubernatorial elections. Past elections in River State were marked by electoral violence, including the snatching of ballot boxes. From River State to Imo. There was a mild tension in Isu local government area of Imo as political talks on Saturday disrupted and snapped the ballot box at Umarusi Amaduba, all amidst heavy presence of security agencies. It was gathered the incident occurred in the wee hours of the day. The talks, numbering about 5, invaded the area as voters were rendered helpless. However, voters have expressed fears over the security armored vehicle patrolling the area before the snatching of the box. We were afraid. You saw how they did by taking the box away. Agbola Joshua is the founder of another story which similar to it. The local vigilantes in Ibi community in Meshegu local government area of Niger State have lost 2 of the men while they killed no fewer than 50 terrorists during a combat with them. Information gathered that the terrorists were said to have been responsible for terrorizing and abduction of residents of the community, with 12 kidnapped from the community 2 weeks ago. Therefore, the vigilante took the battle to the terrorists, destroyed their camps located within the Kenji National Park, and sustained the battle against the terrorists for 4 days. Sources within the community informed that 9 persons out of the 12 abducted by the terrorists were killed in the bid to escape, while 2 men of the vigilante lost their lives in the attack. Among the killed abductees were Sharia court registrar, 6 women, and 3 other men, while those who escaped alive were 3 men. The vigilante also succeeded in destroying the camps of the terrorists, chased them out of the national park, and dumped the bodies of the slain terrorists at the Kanji National Park. A resident of Ibi, Abdul Ahmed, said some bandits had recently taken over some unmanned parts of the national park from where they launched attacks on the people of the area. The Niger State's Commissioner of Internal Security, Emmanuel Umar, could not be reached, while the Nigeria police spokesman Wasiu Abiodun did not respond to calls or text messages sent to him as of the time of filing this report. Going on to foreign story. Brazil's president said Saturday that the United States should stop encouraging war in Ukraine as he wrapped a state visit to China, in which he has threatened economic ties with his country's main trading partner. Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva used his trip to push the message that Brazil is back as a key player on the global stage and to warn that the South American countries deepening relations with China were non-negotiable. Lula was headed on Saturday to the United Arab Emirates for a one-day official visit and will meet his counterpart Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. During the trip to China, the left-wing leader lashed out at the power of the US dollar and the IMF and met representatives from Chinese tech giant Huawei, which has been effectively shut out of the US market. The United States needs to stop encouraging war and start talking about peace. The European Union needs to start talking about peace, Lula told reporters in Beijing. Lula will return to power in January after serving 2 terms between 2003 and 2010, met his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping on Friday. To end the world news is sports story. Napoli manager Luciano Spalletti has revealed that Victor Osimhen will join his teammate for Saturday's Serie A clash against Hellas Verona. Osimhen was absent from Napoli's last 3 games after sustaining a muscle injury while on international duty with Nigeria last month. The 24-year-old trained with his teammate for the first time since coping the injury on Monday morning. Spalletti confirmed a talismanic striker will start from the bench against Verona. His Osimhen condition is good. I had a meeting with the doctors and tomorrow that today he will be called up against Verona, Spalletti told a press conference. Obviously, the objective is to arrive at our best for Tuesday's match, but tomorrow he will be with us on bench, which is today. The forward has scored 21 goals in 23 league appearances for the Pentanopes this season. That ends the world news this hour from BGI TV Currents. Before we go, some major headlines. Inec lists 200 electoral offenders for prosecution, EFCC, ICPC probe. Inec chair under pressure to declare Fintiri winner of Adamawa governor re-election. Peter Obi, don't allow yourselves to be used as an instrument or a neze to US. Voters shown supplementary poll in Port Harcourt over lack of transparency of Inec. And on sport, Osimhen ready to return against Hellas Verona, Spalletti. The match might be underway from evening today. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagide Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of your goods and services, corporate of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placements only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawa. Good evening.